All right, welcome everyone. Today is March 12th, 2025. This is the first live stream for the day. We're going to come back later on this evening and do a longer live stream, but this one is probably going to go for about maybe an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less than that. There are some new developments. Umar posted a couple of hours ago on his Instagram page a response to the domestic abuse or domestic violence accusations made by his daughter. What I like to do during this particular live stream is to play a couple of clips of Umar's daughter, who's 22 years old now, speaking about or alleging these domestic abuse, domestic violence instances. And then I want to actually pull up the response. And Umar's response, as of right now, it's only in text form. We will see whether or not he speaks about this publicly in video format. This Umar Johnson saga has taken a very dark turn. I'm not surprised, however. The other thing I want to do during this live stream is I want to bring up some examples of Umar Johnson and his emotional volatility, his aggression, not just towards women, but also towards men. Okay, there's also a poll question here as well. How's it going, X-Reaper? Thanks for tuning on in. The poll question is, do you believe that Umar Johnson committed domestic violence against his first baby mama? Remember that the first baby mama ultimately received custody and that Umar was given supervised visitations. See, that's the thing that Umar is leaving out in this equation. And the question becomes, well, why did Umar receive supervised visitation? Matter of fact, it reminds me to pull something else up in just a moment after we get a little bit further into this. So keep that in mind, okay, that Umar, he was put on supervised visitation for his first baby mama and supervised visitation for his third baby mama. And yes, Umar has 3 baby mamas, not 2. I've already proven it. I won't pull up the receipts on that today. I've done that in the last live stream. Okay, so let's get right on into it. This is a video from March 6th of 2025. And there's actually 3 videos in total. I'm only going to show clips from the first one. And then I'm going to come back later on this evening and I'll get through the other 2. I've edited out any others segments inside the video where his daughter is not speaking specifically about Umar. I've only taken, there's 3 clips I've taken from one video where she specifically talks about the domestic violence allegations. I'm going to go through those other 2 videos before tonight's live stream, or this evening's live stream, and I'll pull clips from those 2, and then we're going to watch them all for this evening. So I hope everyone come back a little bit later on. If you didn't get the chance to watch the video from yesterday, please take the time when you have some time, because we're trying to keep up with all of this Umar Johnson, with this Umar Johnson saga. It's reached an all-time low for sure. Okay, let's pull this up. Here we go.
This man tried to say, text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. You used to beat the shit out my mom, though. You used to beat the shit out my mom. Why the fuck would she want to deal with you? You need to be in fucking jail. But you on the internet trying to tell other black people how to lead? Aren't you building a school in Wilmington? So you doing all this for all these other black kids, but not doing nothing for your 2 daughters. And I tried to reach out to you and you ignored me. How that work? And you a fucking woman abuser. You need to be in fucking jail. You wanted a kid so bad. You wanted to get my mom pregnant so bad. But when my mom had me, you left the hospital. You're not even on my birth certificate. You're not even on my birth certificate. You got on Instagram and said, bring your Smurf mom, get the Smurf daughter. Do you hear how you talking? Then in your caption, you gonna say, somebody come get this little girl, but this little girl is your biological daughter that you didn't take care of for 22 years. Then you keep talking about child support. You think I give a fuck about child support, bitch? You was never in my life. I don't give a fuck about child support. I'm not getting that money my mom is, and I'm no longer a minor. I'm not 18 years old. I'm not getting that money. You not in my life, though. That's the point. But you on social media talking about black kings and black women. You a fucking hypocrite. You a fraud. And when the shade room, when neighborhood watch, when on site, when all of them out your ass, I'm going to be in the corner laughing the fuck up at you. I'm going to be in the corner laughing. I don't have no sympathy for you. You only reached out to me because your ass got outed because you tried to ignore me. Bash him. Bash him. I really don't care. It ain't hurting me. Shit, bash him. Please, I don't give a fuck. Where my lighter at? Bash him. Then you got people calling me clout chaser. How the fuck you supposed to be my friend when you calling me a fucking clout chaser? Keep that same fucking energy. Keep that same energy, bro. I'ma always remember how do I put this? I'ma always remember the people who tried to put me down when I was already down. It's thousands of people on the internet coming at my neck trying to claim that I'm lying. Trying to claim that I'm trying to clout chase. And you over here calling me a fucking clout chaser? Okay. Let me be a clout chaser. Let me be a clout chaser then. I'm a clout chaser because I'm trying to find who the fuck my dad is. So now I'm a clout chaser? You right. But it's people, it's men. Men, black men on the internet calling me bitches and calling me all types of names. And where are you at? Trying to defend you. You trying to keep your reputation. Forget the reputation. What about the truth? Let me tell you something. You can't bash nobody. I'm not talking to that man. He called me out my name, so fuck him. You're not bashing nobody by telling the truth. It's the truth. How am I bashing you if I'm telling the truth? Yeah, he did me his match. I'm his oldest daughter. Yeah, he did me his fucking match. Y'all say he intelligent. I'm intelligent too. He's a clown, Angel. He's a big clown. And I want Shade Room to post this. I sent Shade Room the video and I emailed it to him. So now the whole world gonna know you a fraud. From what I know, Dr. Umar has 2 daughters. Me and his other daughter. I just found my sister, y'all. What other daughter or kid do he have? I just met his other daughter. His mom got in contact with me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well,
her mom got in contact with me.
Okay. For the record, I've shown it many times, but I specifically addressed this issue yesterday, and we're going to come back to this evening because we're going to get further into this. This is more like an introduction to this. She has 2 other siblings at bare minimum, 2 other siblings. And based on what Umar has said, she may have 3 others, meaning Umar has 4. But I'm going with the receipts that I know based on child support paperwork. I can pull up the first baby mama, which is 2002. This would be this young lady right here. I can pull up the docket for the second baby mama, which would be in 2015. And I can pull up the docket for the third baby mama, which would be in 2017. Okay, I showed it yesterday. I'll represent that later on during tonight's live stream. Now, before we move on to Umar Johnson's response, I want to go back and just pick out a couple of things that she said in the beginning. Okay.
This man tried to say, text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. You used to beat the shit out my mom, though.
Okay, so she's alleging that there was domestic violence, physical abuse. When she says beat the shit out, that's what that means. So anyway, if you guys don't, I know pretty much all y'all should know that vernacular, but there may be other people who see this that don't know the vernacular. When we say in the black community, we say beat the shit out of you, that's a physical threat. When we say, well, I'm going to do that. But if someone beats the shit out of someone, that's an act of physical violence. Okay, so what she's alleging here is that Umar was physically violent towards her mother, that Umar physically abused her mother. That's what she's alleging here.
You used to beat the shit out my mom. Why the fuck would she want to deal with you? You need to be in fucking jail. But you on the internet trying to tell other black people how to lead. Aren't you building a school in Wilmington? So you doing all this for all these other black kids, but not doing nothing for your 2 daughters. And I tried to reach out to you and you ignored me. How that work? And you a fucking woman abuser. You need to be in fucking jail. You wanted a kid so bad. You wanted to get my mom pregnant so bad. But when my mom had me, you left the hospital. You're not even on my birth certificate. You're not even on my birth certificate. You got on Instagram and said,
all right. Let's look at Umar's response. She tells these other, she makes these other allegations too. There's actually more than 2 other videos, but I'm going to get through at least 2 other videos before we live stream later on this evening. And I'll pick out segments like this where she's specifically talking about Umar and with these domestic violence allegations. Remember, we can look, and I'm going to give you guys some examples of Umar's volatility, but let's look at emotional, he has a lack of self-control. But let's look at Umar Johnson's response, which he posted on his Instagram page a couple of hours ago. Okay. And thanks to Brother Dion for sending this to me. Shout out to the Cook Course chat. This is going to be a different show. I just want to get this out here real quick. Tomorrow, later on this evening, we'll get deeper in this. And you know, my daughter, she said her bus wasn't getting there. Okay. She just, okay. So her bus got there because she had asked me earlier to pick her up. And I said, well, what time your bus get there? She was like, oh, in about 15, normally it gets there in about 15 minutes. I said, well, you early. She had testing today. And I said, well, just let me know if it comes in 15 minutes. So I was texting her to make sure. She just texted me back. And she's good. All right. So let's look at Umar Johnson's response here. And I'm going to read this verbatim, okay, straight through. And then we're going to go back through and I'll have my commentary. Umar posted, this is probably about maybe 5 hours, maybe 4 hours ago now. On his Instagram page, Dr. Umar Johnson says, great Garvey Day family. While in Sweden, I was not aware that I was also accused by my eldest daughter of domestically abusing her mother. First, I want to state for the record that I have never abused any woman, a fact to which my ancestors can testify. That's, well, let's see, let me stop. I'm gonna give my analysis a little bit later. Okay, hold on. Let me get myself together. What actually happened was on one day during my daughter's early years, I was going to her mother's apartment to visit my child when I noticed before entering that her rear car windows had been broken out. There was glass everywhere, and my first thought was that someone had broken into the car to steal whatever was inside. However, I noticed a note on top of my daughter's baby seat. I reached inside, wiped some of the glass away, and read the note. To my surprise, it was a letter from Mama Smurfs, and this is what Umar is calling his oldest baby mama's mother. He's calling her Mama Smurf, and he's calling his oldest daughter Baby Smurf. Okay, these are just insults. This is an issue. It's like antagonizing them. Okay, he also posted a meme on his Instagram page. We covered a couple of days ago where he put one of the Smurf, the female Smurf, up there and was kind of egging the mother on, like he was saying something like come on out or come out, something like that. Really antagonized. That in and of itself is an aspect of someone who is an abuser. But let me limit my commentary. There was glass everywhere, and my first thought was that someone had broken into the car to steal whatever was inside. However, I noticed a note on top of my daughter's baby seat. I reached inside, wiped some of the glass away, and read the note. To my surprise, it was a letter from Mama Smurf's lover, who was threatening to unalive both her and my children for unstated reasons. Although I can't remember everything he had to say, I do remember that threat and the very aggressive tone of his letter. He didn't mention why he had chosen to vandalize her car, nor why he was threatening their lives. I took the note inside and gave it to Mama Smurf. I called the Philadelphia Police Department, and an officer arrived later to take the report. This action would save my professional life, as you will soon learn. I asked the officer if he thought I should purchase a gun for self-defense should he return. And yes, he said, and he said yes. So I went to the gun shop. My goodness gracious. Here's the next part. So I went to the gun shop and obtained my first firearm. Mama Smurf, and this would be in and around 2002, 2003, 2004-ish. Mama Smurf and I decided it would be best if I stayed at her home for the week in case her lover came by looking to keep good on his promise. At some point, Mama Smurf and I got into an argument about custody again. This would be an ongoing thing, as she had promised me sometime during the 3rd trimester that you will be with both of us or neither one of us. 22 years later, and we can see that she has largely kept her promise. Anyway, the nature of our argument centered on my belief that my daughter should come and stay with me while she was going through her domestic violence scare. She refused, and I left, vowing to get custody of my daughter. However, Mama Smurf and Grandma Smurf, now he's disrespecting the grandmama too. Here we go. And Grandma Smurf would beat me to the punch. Look at the terminology here. You see this? He's saying beat me to the punch. Wow. Umar, he's something else. Let me stop. I'm gonna limit my hit the one. Good crush chat. Let me limit my commentary because we're gonna go through this step by step. However, Mama Smurf and Grandma Smurf would beat me to the punch. They had filed for a restraining order, claiming that I had purchased my firearm to terrorize and harm Mama Smurf and not to protect my daughter from her estranged lover. They also wanted to press charges against me for the said offense. This was all a scheme to prevent me from gaining primary physical custody of our child. On the day of the hearing inside the courtroom, Mama Smurf pulled, and I'm wondering if this hearing is for child support for custody or if he's talking about charges that were filed against him. This is very interesting. On the day of the hearing inside the courtroom, Mama Smurf pulled from her pocketbook approximately 12 Polaroid photos of her body that she claimed contained bruises caused by me. Knowing that I had never put my hands on her, I was certain the photos had been fabricated. Okay, again, people, this is in and around 2002, 2003, 2004. When the judge asked me to take a look at the photos, I had immediately informed the judge that, let me go to the next one. I had immediately informed the judge that these were not bruises, but blotches of makeup and artificial skin color. Wow. Umar, I couldn't believe that the Smurfs had went so far as to bring false evidence against me in a court of law to try and destroy my professional career just to keep me from getting custody of my child. I then asked the judge to have Mama Smurf stand and show one of the bruises on her actual body, as there was no way that bruises this serious could disappear so quickly. What? What? Is this what court? I mean, what was it? Was this a domestic violence case a couple of days later and they're in court for that? Or is this, I don't get it. Being unable to show any, or is it for custody? Which was it, custody, child? I don't get it. Is it, he's not very clear here. Being unable to show any physical evidence of these fake injuries, the judge scolded her for lying in court, to which Mama Smurf reacted with attitude and insubordination. Listen, I'm going to limit my commentary, but I don't believe this shit at all. This part right here in particular. We're going to go through the whole thing again. The female Asian judge then instructed the bailiff to stand next to Mama Smurf. Get this. Warning Mama Smurf that her next outburst would result in a contempt of court arrest. Huh? I sat in that courtroom stunned, as I couldn't believe that the mother of my child told the judge that I purchased my weapon to threaten and harm her, and not to protect my child from a death threat made against her life by Mama Smurf's lover. In fact, she never mentioned the busted car window, the death threat, or the police report. What really saved me inside that courtroom that day was when I produced a police report, referenced a number which proved the officer had recommended that I obtain a firearm for the defense of my child and her mother. What? Man, this evidence, along with the fake body injury photos, was enough for the judge to dismiss the case. That day changed everything for me, as I had learned this has to have been a criminal charges were brought against Umar. This doesn't sound like Umar's never talked about this before, has he? And there should be a record of this too. Let me limit my commentary. He's never talked about this. I've never heard him. Anyone ever heard him? This has to be criminal. Has anyone ever heard Umar mention this? He's mentioning it now because it's all coming to light. He's given his quote unquote version of events. See, this evidence, along with the fake body injury photos, was enough for the judge to dismiss the case. That day changed everything for me, as I had learned what really saved. Okay, as I had learned, dismiss the case. That day changed everything for me, as I had learned firsthand just how much Mama Smurf hated me for not making her my wife. She never pressed charges against the man who threatened my daughter's life, but yeah, it sounds like she pressed charges against you, Umar. That's what it sounds like. Remember, he was not given custody. He was given supervised visitations. You see this? If everything was copacetic, Umar, and the judge and the child support for custody, if they thought that you were fit, they would have given you some sort of custody. They didn't give you any custody. They gave you they gave you supervised visitation. That's because on some level you were a threat, and I've been saying this, you were a threat either to the mother or to the child or to both. I've been talking about this. Okay. Umar says, he wrote here, she never pressed charges against the man who threatened my daughter's life, but she tried to ruin mine just for trying to be there for her. Who knows what would have happened to me? Here's the victim. Had I never called the police and had that report taken. Umar, you where's the report at? You said you have all this white man's paperwork, right? Where's the report? And just because you tell the police something, excuse my commentary, but just because you tell the police something doesn't mean it is true. They can file a report, doesn't mean it is true. See, at the end of the day, the child support for the custody, they didn't give you any custody and they gave you supervised visitation. It'd be one thing if they gave you visitation rights. No, they gave you supervised visitations. I'm going to pull up the video and play that too, by the way, right after this. As I left family court that day, Grandpa Smurf disappointed Grandpa Smurf. Now we're talking about the grandpa. This would probably be, I don't know. I guess this is his baby mama's father. As I left the court that day, Grandpa Smurf, disappointed in the judge's decision, tried to engage me in a scuffle. Wow. As we prepared to clash outside the family court, police stepped in to separate us and pulled me back into the building until the Smurfs had left the area. I couldn't believe it. An entire day filled with conflict and negativity, all because of one woman's lies and hate. If Dr. Umar Ifatunde is guilty of domestic abuse, then I challenge anyone to produce a police report. Well, you said there's a police report. Where you produce it? Produce a police report, arrest record, or order of restraint. You were given supervised visitations, Umar. See, he don't mention that right here. Mama Smurf has been lying to baby Smurf her entire life. I was excluded from your life. No, you were given supervised visitation. I'm going to play the receipt in just a moment. You just chose not to be there, not to participate in your daughter's life for 22 years. Despite multiple family court shared custody orders. Okay, you have this paperwork, Umar? No, you said you were on, it wasn't, you didn't receive any custody. So what are you talking about shared? Umar said he was put on supervised visitation. I'm going to play the receipt in just a moment. Because I didn't marry your mother, you will be with both of us or neither one of us. That sounds like something Umar would say, to be honest with you. Come on now. Come on. That is the whole truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth. But we know that Umar is a habitual liar. Hit the one. I've given so many examples over the most recent live streams. He's not a school. He lies about being a school psychologist. He's not. He lies about being a therapist. He's not. He lies about being a child therapist. He's not. He lies about being a school principal. In 2024, 2025, he's still saying he's not a school principal anywhere in 2025. He lies about having certifications. He's lied about being a vice principal. He's not a vice principal right now. I'm talking about 2025, 2024, 2023. No, he's lied about opening up a school in 2013, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and here we are in 2025. Okay, he lies about being a certified school psychologist. He holds no certifications right now. He's never held any licenses. He's lied about being a clinical psychologist. He's never been a clinical psychologist. Okay, he's lied about it was an important one that he's lied about. Clinical psychologist, school psychologist, therapist, a family therapist. Okay? He's never been a family therapist. Okay, he's lied about. There was another one I can't remember right now. But Umar has a history. I'm talking about in that profession as a psychologist. Umar has a history of lying. Okay, so again, I'm going to give my commentary, but before I do this, we're going step by step on this. But before I do this, I want to go back to a video. This video is from 2017. I believe it's the end of 2017, early 2018. Okay.
Like, nah, you shouldn't have done that video the other day we talked.
Oh, hold on one second. I got to remove this. Here.
Taking you to child support court. I had to. Like some people like, you shouldn't have done that video the other day we talked about your baby mom. Taking you to child support court. I had to. Right. God forbid, if I die today tomorrow, who gonna tell my daughter that your father loved you And the only reason why he wasn't there because your mom kept him out. Somebody got to let her know that. Because her mom ain't going to tell her the truth. And her grandma ain't going to tell her the truth. You see what I'm saying?
All right, real quick. Yeah, he's lied about his yeah, well, I've heard him say 6'2", I heard him say 6'3". He's lied about his lineage. He's lied about being related to Frederick Douglass. He's lied about being related to Harriet Tubman. He's lied about being related to Booker T. Washington. He's lied about being related to Pharaoh Ramses. He lies. He's what you call a habitual liar, where they spin narratives, and he does this all the time. Okay. All right, let's go back to this video. Here we go.
Like some people like, Doc, you shouldn't have done that video the other day. We talked about your baby mom taking you to child support court. I had to. God forbid, if I die today tomorrow, who gonna tell my daughter that your father loved you? And the only reason why he wasn't there because your mom kept him out. Somebody got to let her know that. Because her mom ain't gonna tell her the truth. And her grandma ain't gonna tell her the truth. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta drop a couple little tidbits. I didn't go in too deep, just enough. So somebody can pull, it's something happened to me. Because what I think is so selfish about what my mother is doing is my life, my work is a very dangerous work. You don't know how long this man got, and you keeping it from his baby. And my baby girl looks just like me. You understand? And my oldest daughter, she almost at the age where she's free to do what she wants.
Okay, now he's talking about his oldest daughter. The daughter he was talking about before is the younger daughter, the youngest daughter. Okay, and he has a third child. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. And that third child is in and around. It's sometime, and we talked about this yesterday. It has to be they have to have been born sometime between 2010 and 2015. If they were born in 2000, I'm talking. This is based upon child support paperwork. If they were born in 2015, Umar would have been around 41 years old. The baby mama would have been in her early 20s. If that child was born sometime in 2010, 2011, I'm going based upon what Umar states in different videos, 2010 or 2011, then the baby mama would have been in her late teens, and Umar would have been around 36 or 37 years old. See, but right now, in this video, he starts off talking about the youngest baby mama, because he comes back to this, the youngest baby, okay, and then right now he starts talking about the 22-year-old, the one who's 22-year-old. That's the one that's recovering right now, the one that has these allegations against Umar. Watch what he says about the 22-year-old mama.
You understand? And my oldest daughter, she almost at the age where she's free to do what she wants. So we're going to be able to build that relationship better. You see what I'm saying? Because she's almost free. But my baby girl, she's starting off. We need that time. And the fact she would take me to child support when all I asked for was a day a week. I said I would give you the money. I just need a day a week. She didn't even want to give me a day a week, dog. My baby girl 6.5.
Remember, he was given. See, he's switching it all up. Now he's talking about the other baby. He's saying 6.5. This video is from 2018. This would go back to 2012-ish, 2011. Now he's see right now. Umar's talking about his second baby, in the middle one. He has one that's the older one who's 22. He has the younger one who right now is around, I want to say 8 years old, something like that, 8 or 9. And then he has a middle one. Okay, that middle one is either 10, around 10 or 13. Now he's giving reference to a 13-year-old more recently, but if that's the 13-year-old, then when Umar impregnated the mama, based on online records, that mama would have been in her late teens. Okay, but see, Umar, he's actually talking about all three. He just doesn't realize it because he's confusing it. But I have the timeline right here, real quick. Let me just show it to you guys. I'm not gonna go over it. I just want to show it to you guys because I'm listening to what he's saying, and I'm looking at the timeline at the same time. Umar, he's confusing his three. He's trying to talk about two, but he's actually talking about all three. Okay, here's the timeline that I'm specifically working on. Dealing with Umar and the baby mama situation and the child support. Hold on one second. This interface is a little bit different than what it used to be. Here we go. Okay, this is that timeline right here. Okay, this is a complete, not a complete, but this is the timeline I'm working on Umar for the documentary I'm dealing with on Umar his whole life here. Okay, and then you start to see where the baby mama start coming onto the scene. 2002, 2010 or 11, based on what Umar says, and then 2015. Okay, this is the youngest one. This is condensed here. I condensed it so it's a little bit more clear. This is the oldest one, 22 years old. Umar was around 28 years old. He's actually talking about this one now, where in point of fact, he was talking about this one at first. This is the youngest one. He went from this one, the youngest one, to this one, the oldest one, and now he's talking about the middle one. That's why he says she was around 6.5. He did this particular video is from 2018. Well, if the baby is 6.5 in 2018, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. This would get us around 2011, meaning that he's talking about the second child, who would be around 12 and 13 years old, where he actually claims these days. He has a video where he claims it. He claims a 13-year-old these days and the 22, but he ain't talking about this other one over here. Okay. But he's slipping up as he tells this story, because this one right here, this is the baby mama and the grandmama who has a place of business in Philadelphia, and they do vegan dishes. I've already researched all of them. Okay. And he actually flips into talking about them too. He mixes all of this all together, even though he's only trying to claim 2. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Here we go.
Never been anywhere with me in 6 years, bro. I said I would give you the money. I just need a day a week. She don't even want to give me a day a week, though. My baby girl, 6.5. She never been anywhere with me in 6 years, bro.
See, so that's 3 children. Okay, so is it all 3 baby mamas that are the problem, or is it Umar? See, he hasn't been an active participant in any of these babies' lives.
Out to the movies, the zoo. If I want to see it, I got to go to the grandma's house.
See, that's called supervised visitation.
What? For what? Because I didn't marry you? For what? You don't do that. But that's what they doing. But they right up doing.
Okay, he's talking about the 3rd baby mama now. You see, he's giving out their place of business, which is a restaurant in Philadelphia, and that's this baby mama right here. See? But he was just saying that the baby was 6.5 years old, and he said that. See this green? He says 6, and this is in 2018. He says he's 6.5. Well, that's not this one that he's talking about now. He's talking about this one, and it's on accident. He don't mean, because see this. What this means is that this particular baby mama was in her late teens when he got her pregnant. See? And again, this is the oldest baby right here. So what Umar has admitted to is that he has supervised visitation for this baby right here, this baby right here, and it sounds like this baby too. So who's the problem? Is it all the baby mamas, or is it Umar? Let's keep going.
Forget the address, because I would damn well tell you. Because I want everybody to go to my sister and my.
See, he gives their names too. I have all of this. I even researched the grandmama too. She looks young too. She looks about as old. She's older, but she looks like my age. It's incredible. But she's real health conscious.
Selling them vegan platters, talking that soul vegan shit. They say, why can't this man see his baby without y'all sitting in his face? You know how belittling that is? You a grown man. And you got to go sit on your daughter's grandmama couch.
Right, you go talk to your daughter.
With everybody in the family looking at you.
I'll ask that question.
See what I'm saying? But they up there perpetrating this conscious vegan. And the little girl can't even see her father. And her father happened to be one of the biggest movers and shakers we got. And she can't spend time alone with him because of the mother's hatred issues.
No, she can't. She couldn't spend time alone with Umar because he was court-ordered supervised visitation. And supervised visitation, it's dealing. There's specific reasons why you're going to be put on supervised visitation. See, real quick, Fairchild said this earlier. There is validity here. An issuance of supervised visitation cannot exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. Let me read it again. And I've researched this. We did this years ago. Cook for Chef. Some of you guys were around back then. We went and looked up supervised visitation, and we went to a lawyer website in Pennsylvania, where they specifically address issues of supervised visitation and custody. And we looked up what are the reasons by which supervised visitation would be ordered by the court. Okay, let me read this again. There is validity here. And an issuance of supervised visitation cannot exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. Okay, we're going to come back to this. Okay, now if Umar wasn't the problem, then why was he the one put on supervised visitation? See? But watch what he says here. Watch this.
And then somebody said, well, maybe he's a domestic.
You see what he said there? Hit the one. And he stops himself. See, the devil will tell the truth sometime. Amen. I don't mean to be like that, but that's what these master manipulators, great deceivers, that's what they do. Sauron, he'll tell the truth sometimes. See, we called this out so many times in the past, but look how time tells the truth. Look where we at now today. This video is from 2018. Listen what Umar says. Watch this.
One of the biggest movers and shakers we got, and she can't spend time alone with him because the mother's hatred issues. And then somebody said, well, maybe he's a domestic.
He said maybe he's a domestic abuser. Yeah. There is validity here. An issuance of supervised visitation cannot exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. Wouldn't domestic violence be one of the forms of abuse within a relationship or home? Let me read it again. An issuance of supervised visitation cannot exist within An issuance of supervised visitation cannot exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. And Umar has admitted that he was on supervised visitation for the oldest baby mama and for the youngest baby mama. I haven't heard him say it for, no, actually it depends, because he's mixing it all in. It's possible that he was on this for all three. Because he doesn't mean to, but he actually tells all three, even though he only claims two. He only tells people that he has two. He has three, at least, bare minimum. Okay. One more time, let's listen to what Umar said. Watch this. Then we're gonna move on. Here we go.
They're perpetrating this conscious vegan, and the little girl can't even see her father, and her father happened to be one of the biggest movers and shakers we got, and she can't spend time alone with him because the mother's hatred issues. And then somebody said, well, maybe he's a domestic. If I ever put my hands on a woman, I promise you, it won't be no school psychology, it won't be no FDMG, it won't be no nothing. And
hear this? Now watch this.
Psychology, it won't be no domestic. If I hate.
Remember, this video is from 2018. Watch this.
Issues. And then somebody said, well, maybe he's a domestic. If I ever put my hands on a woman, I promise you, it won't be no school psychology.
Okay, he's not a school psychologist in 2018. The last time he worked as a school psychologist was 2010, 2011. Hit the one. Okay. By the way, he's actually talking about domestic violence, and he's talking well, this is interesting. Yeah, this is really, really interesting. And I got to go back into my notes and pull out all the times he was talking about domestic violence and child support and put it all together, put together a timeline on all of that. There's going to have to be a section in the documentary dealing with domestic violence allegations, and I'll sort through all of this. It's very interesting. Here we go.
FDMG.
Okay, it's 2000. He said this in 2018. They're still on FDMG. They're still abandoned buildings. We're in 2025. See this?
Won't be no nothing. Right.
Yeah, there is nothing.
And it hurt me even with the grandma, because when I ran into my go at the fresh produce,
look at his face too. See the aggression?
I didn't speak to him.
Snarling and shit.
Right. Umar, you not gonna speak to me? I said, I ain't got nothing to say to you. Why not?
See this?
Your daughter don't let me see my little girl. You know this.
So look at his face.
Why are you acting like you don't know why I'm not talking? Oh, I didn't know. How the hell you don't know I can't see my baby when the only time I can see is on your damn couch? So
see, on the couch is supervised visitation. Watch what he says here though, because he messes up.
She set it up. Start going again.
He says she set it up for him to come see the baby, and he starts going again. You see? In other words, Umar, he was able to go see the child, and he went to go see the child, but then he stopped. And then he runs into the child's grandmother, and she sets it up after talking with him for him to come back again to see the child. See this?
We need some money.
See, but he wants to make it seem like they were keeping him away, and that they were keeping him away. Sometimes he says because they wanted money. Okay, visitation and child support, two separate things, two separate issues. Umar tries to conflate the two, or because they were mad at, or the baby mama was mad at Umar because Umar didn't marry her.
No problem. I need one day a week. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. You need no problem. I need one day a week. Right. You know what she said before? She doesn't know you. My daughter know exactly who I am. She see me right now, she running to her daddy. She doesn't know you. That's when she was 2. Right.
Watch it make this shit up on the spot. Watch this.
When she was 4, what was it when she was 4?
See him making
The new
shit up?
excuse was
Looking up.
she
Look at
ain't
the
used to
Bible.
being away from me. Something.
Right.
See, he's making that shit up on the spot.
Right.
And now she's 6. They didn't ran out of excuses.
Right.
You know.
See, he's saying she's 6 in 2018. Now he's talking about the baby that I was talking about earlier. See, he's flipping it all around. See, let me explain to you guys why I'm saying that. If we look at this timeline, he's saying that this baby is 6, and he's saying in 2018 that she's 6. So if we go from 2018, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He says he's 6.5, so that would be in and around 2010. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I have the wrong thing. 2008. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 6.5 will get us around 2011. Well, that's the other baby. That's the middle one. Okay. This baby would be around, at this point, would be around 15. Yeah, this makes it even more convoluted. Now that I think about it, though, 2025. Yeah, well, yeah, 13 or 14. Yeah, baby will be around 13, and that's the one that he's claiming more recently. Well, as he's telling this story, he's actually talking about this baby mama. Okay, and the reason why I know this is because of the name of this baby mama. I've already done the research. This baby would be around 8, maybe a little bit older than 8, and this is the baby mama that has the vegan, the grandmama and the baby mama has a vegan restaurant in Philadelphia. Yeah, he's mixing all this up. But you know, I think probably the reason why he's doing this is because he's on supervised visitation for all 3 children, and he's just mixing it all up. He was on supervised visitation. Now listen, one of them grown, one of them's 13, and one of them's around 8, 9, maybe even 10. But it sounds as if from what Umar is doing, as he's conflating all these together, that he was on supervised visitation for all 3 of them. Okay, let me just play just a little bit more of this.
I mean, we just don't want to let it be around with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm dealing with. And she's, this is a conscious system. Allegedly. You know what I mean? But it's just sad because when you deal with this custody, and this is what people need to know about custody, because I've been through with my oldest daughter. Just because they give you custody on paper, especially if you live in Philly, I don't know what's going nowhere else. But in Philly, you get custody on paper. That don't mean you actually gonna get no custody in practice. You feel me? Because they'll violate that order. I know, because my oldest daughter mom does it.
See this? But see, Umar, he's also stated that he was on supervised visitation for the oldest daughter too. So custody is not the issue. The issue is, why were you given court-ordered supervised visitation? You see this guy?
Okay, and you never see your baby. And then you report him, and you go in front of the judge, and you know what the judge tell the mom? Don't do it again. Excuse me, this is the 3rd time we in here. Obviously, she gonna do it again because it ain't no consequence.
Right.
It ain't the same everywhere, but in Philly, women can get away with not letting you see your child. They don't care what's on paper, because they're not gonna take a child from them. They is not taking no baby from no mom unless you got same thing in Harrisburg. Same thing. They ain't taking no baby. She better be on drugs or something. If that mom ain't doing it wrong to that kid, only crime is she ain't letting you see him. They ain't taking a baby. Now if it's a boy, you got a little bit more leverage because the war against black boys. Sometimes they'll take that boy and give it to the daddy.
Okay, real quick. I think we watched enough of this. What I like to do is I want to play, it's an audio file, and this is Umar talking about his father, Jamal, and Umar's oldest child, which is the one that's come out to speak out and make these allegations that Umar was a domestic abuser, and that Umar has been a deadbeat and hasn't been in her life. Let me play this. I played this the other day, but I think it's apropos to play it here. And then we're going to go back to Umar's response to the domestic violence allegations, and I'm going to read through that, and then we'll close out this show. I know I got a lot of super chats. We're going to get to those too. Just y'all, if y'all can bear with me here. We will be back a little bit later on too. There is a poll. We'll be back in live stream a little bit later on this evening. There is a poll. If you guys get your vote in, I'd appreciate that as well. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio on this one. Here we go.
When my oldest daughter was born, when she was born, her mother did not allow me to see my child.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, can y'all hear this?
When my oldest daughter was born, when she was born, her mother did not allow me to see my child.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, my daughter's 16 now, and the problem has continued for 16 years. We've been in court, out of court. The courts don't enforce the custody order. They just give you paper, but they don't enforce it. So she's been doing this consistently on and off for 16 years. My father, I didn't notice, but my daughter.
So Umar's claiming to have had custody, but the daughter, she was explaining how Umar was never around and that he used to beat on the mama. See, and Umar said that he had supervised visitation on that child. How you gonna have custody and supervised visitation? Got him. Now hold on. Let me take that back, because I don't know how it works. To be honest with you, I ain't never been on child support. Me and my wife got 5 kids. It's me and my wife's kids. Can anyone in this chat room explain to me? Is it possible to be given supervised visitation in custody? See, as a critical thinker, I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. If you already have custody, some form of custody, why would you have supervised visitations too? And again, like was pointed out earlier, supervised visitation is very specific. An issuance of supervised visitation cannot not exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. So if you're abusive in a relationship or home, you're going to be given custody too? Why would you be given custody while you're on supervised visitation? Yeah. It could be sole, legal, partial, or supervised custody. But Umar's talking about visitation, where he has to come and sit on the grandmama's couch. But he's also talking and speaking as if he was awarded partial custody. How can you be awarded partial custody and supervised visitation when you got to go visit the child on the grandmama's couch? That don't make no sense to me. Let's continue. Listen to what he said.
On this consistently on and off for 16 years. My father, I didn't notice, but my daughter's mother's aunt, my daughter's mother's aunt, so my daughter's great aunt, my daughter's grandmom's sister, my daughter's great aunt dated my uncle, my father's brother. I never knew this. But my daughter's great aunt dated my uncle, my father's brother. Wow. I never knew. So my daughter's mother and her mother, my daughter's grandmother, got with my uncle and got with my father and conspired. And my father went to visit my daughter at my daughter, mother, and grandmother's home at the time. And he never even told me he was visiting my child without my knowledge, while I wasn't allowed to see my child myself. And I found out.
Okay, it's not that he was. See, how if you have custody, what are you talking about? Now, Umar, we need for you to produce paperwork, because you said you had the white man's paperwork. Produce the paperwork that said you had some form of custody. Okay. What Umar has consistently stated is that he's been on supervised visitation and that he didn't have custody. He couldn't see the child. That's what he's been saying. But he's getting upset. This is what I mean by the possessive part. He's very possessive. He didn't even want his father to go see the child because he wasn't allowed to go see the child unless he went to go sit on the grandmama's couch, which makes no sense. If you have custody, why would you have to go sit on somebody else's couch to see your own child?
About this because
now again, I'm not well versed in this type of thing because I've never been on child support. If there's anyone who sees this video in the comment section, Go on and post down below. Maybe it is possible. Maybe it is possible for you to have custody, but then you also have supervised visitation, meaning that when you go see the child, even though you already have custody of the child, that you have to go sit on somebody's couch.
My younger brothers, who was living with my father at the time, said, "Did you know Abu?" Because we were raised Muslim, so we called Daddy Abu.
Yes. Abu, yes.
And I still call my mom. And he said, "Did you know Abu has pictures with your daughter?" I said, "It's impossible for him to have pictures with my daughter because I've never given him permission to see my child, which I."
Why would you have to give him permission to see your child? You're on supervised visitation, but you got to give permission. Your father has to give permission for you to go see the child. That's possessive.
Permission to see my child, which I can't because I don't even get to see my child. He said,
"Well, wait a minute. If you have custody, why aren't you able to see your child?" Now y'all see what I'm saying? If you guys see what I'm saying now, please hit the 1. If you have custody, Umar, why are you saying here that you can't see your child? Because you didn't have custody. Custody was awarded to the mama, and you were put on supervised visitation where you had to go see the child, and you would have to be in some location where you're supervised. And the reason why, I'm going to pull it up again, that a person, male or female for that matter, will be put on supervised visitation. It's an issuance of supervised visitation cannot not exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. And that's why the young lady, and we're going to get more into this because there's other times where she speaks about this. Listen to what she said.
This man tried to say, text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. This man tried to say, text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. You used to beat the shit out my mom, though. You used to beat the shit out my mom. Why the fuck would she want to deal with you? You need to be in fucking jail. But you on the internet trying to tell other black people how to lead. Aren't you building a school in Wilmington? So you doing all this for all these other black kids, but not doing nothing for your 2 daughters. And I tried to reach out to you and you ignored me. How that work? And you a fucking woman abuser. You need to be in fucking jail. You wanted a kid so bad. You wanted to get my mom pregnant so bad. But when my mom had me, you left the hospital. You're not even on my birth certificate. You're not even on my birth certificate. You got on Instagram it said bring your Smurf mom. Get the Smurf daughter.
All right, we'll come back to this, the rest of this during this evening's live stream. But you see what he said? Andrea said, and how's it going, Andrea? Hope you're doing all right. Ain't seen you in a minute. Listen to what Andrea said here. Umar is lying. I was in a child support courtroom and saw a judge remove a child from the mother because she violated the shared custody. There are consequences for violating custody orders. Yes. See? But if we go back and listen to what Umar says here in this audio clip in 2018, let's listen to what Umar says again. Watch this. Oh, hold on. Let me take this off. Listen here.
One of my younger brothers, who was living with my father at the time, said, "Did you know Abu?" Because we were raised Muslim, so we called Daddy Abu.
Yes. Abu, yes.
And I still call my mom. And he said, "Did you know Abu has pictures with your daughter?" I said, "It's impossible for him to have pictures with my daughter because I've never given him permission to see my child, which I can't because I don't even get to see my child." He says he has pictures.
You don't get to see your child because you didn't have custody. But he was saying that the baby mama was violating the custody order. Y'all see this? But Andrea says that she was in a child support courtroom and saw a judge remove a child from the mother because she violated the shared custody. There are consequences for violating custody. Yeah, it's court ordered. You see how Umar lies so much? And the question becomes, if he's willing to lie about something, and he lies about all kinds of stuff, we've been going over this recently, why would people think that he's telling the truth about not being an abuser? And the post from today on his Instagram page, which we're going to get to now, I'm going to give my full commentary. Okay. And then we're going to do super chats. We close out the show. Okay. This is what Umar posted today. I'm going to go, I already read this earlier, straight through, kind of. I'm going to read this step by step. I'm going to pull out a couple of things. It ain't going to take but around 5 minutes. Umar stated today, great Garvey Day, family. While in Sweden, I was not aware that I was also accused by my eldest daughter of domestically abusing her mother. First, I want to state for the record that I have never abused any woman, a fact to which my ancestors can testify. Okay, your ancestors can't testify because your ancestors are dead. No disrespect. What actually happened was on one day during my daughter's early years. Notice he doesn't give the actual year. You would think that he would have the year. He should have, because he memorized dates real easily, right? Why didn't he put the year, the day, the month, the time? Well, because he doesn't want to put enough information out there for people to actually do their own investigation and see if they can find receipts on this alleged incident. Okay. And Umar says that he has his white man's paperwork. He should produce that as well then, right? If he has all this paperwork. What actually happened was on one day during my daughter's early years, I was going to her mother's apartment to visit my child when I thought you said you had custody. To visit my child when I noticed before entering that her rear car window had been broken out. There was glass everywhere, and my first thought was that someone had broken into the car to steal whatever was inside. To be honest with you, I think that I think you were the one that broke the window out. That's what I think. However, I noticed a note on top of my daughter's baby seat. Why would the note be placed on the baby seat, the daughter's baby seat? And Umar's talked about how he had all these issues with this same baby mama dealing with custody and arguing about custody and all these different arguments and stuff. Why would the note be placed on the baby's car seat? Come on now. Anybody watch CSI shows? I'll be watching them. My oldest sister got my wife into watching those decades ago. And I like watching, I don't watch those as much. I like watching the interrogation shows where they interrogate people. And they talk about how, in these types of situations, there's like subtle cues that you can look to. People do certain things under certain circumstances. Like there's crimes of passion, versus a crime where someone's just trying to steal something from a person. Why would someone put a note inside of the baby's car seat? See, that's a sign that this is related to what? The baby. Lead detective. Anyone understand this? Hit the one. I'll be watching those shows. See, in crimes of passion, there's always some sort of message behind it. In this case, there's a note, which is a message, but putting the note inside the baby's car seat is another message because it's all about what? It's about the baby. Hit the one. Lead detective. There was glass everywhere, and my first thought was that someone had broken into the car to steal whatever was inside. However, I noticed a note on top of my daughter's baby seat. I reached inside, wiped some of the glass away, and read the note. To my surprise, it was a letter from Mama Smurf's lover, who was threatening to unalive both her and my child for unstated reasons. Umar, I think you broke that window out, and I think you put that note in there. That's what I think.
This man tried to say text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. Beat the shit out my mom though. This man tried to say, text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. You used to beat the shit out my mom though. You used to beat the shit out my mom. Why the fuck would she want to deal with you? You need to be in fucking jail. But you on the internet trying to tell other black people how to lead. Aren't you building a school in Wilmington? So you doing all this for all these other black kids, but not doing nothing for your two daughters. And I tried to reach out to you and you ignored me. How that work? And you a fucking woman abuser. You need to be in fucking jail. You wanted a kid so bad. You wanted to get my mom pregnant so bad. But when my mom had me, you left the hospital. You're not even on my birth certificate.
All right. Let's go back. There we go. I noticed a note on top of my daughter's baby seat, and this is the daughter that's in that video. I reached inside, wiped some of the glass away, and read the note. To my surprise, it was a letter from Mama Smurf's lover who was threatening to unalive both her and my child for unstated reasons. I think, Umar, I think you wrote that letter. I think you wrote that letter. I think you went over there, you were mad, probably some argument or related to custody or visitation, and you bust out the window, and then you put a note in there and put it on the baby's seat. Okay? And in the letter, you wrote a threatening message about unaliving the baby mama and the child. And then Umar goes on to say, although I can't remember everything he had to say, I do remember that threat and the very aggressive tone of his letter. Yeah, just like you, Umar, you're very aggressive. I'm going to pull up some examples of that before we close up this live stream. We're going to go here for another another 35 minutes. Okay. Then we're going to come back a little bit later on this evening, and we're going to take our time and go through all this again. And we got to finish up the video from yesterday. Umar continues to write here. He didn't mention, meaning the person that Umar is alleging put the note in there, the lover, mentioned why he had chosen to vandalize her car, nor why he was threatening their lives. I took the note inside and gave it to Mama Smurf. I called the Philadelphia Police Department, and an officer arrived later to take the report. This action would save my professional life, as you will soon learn. I asked the officer if he thought I should purchase a gun for self-defense should he return, and he said, meaning should the baby mama's alleged lover return, and he said yes. So the police says, yeah, go on and get a gun, go on and buy one. Umar, you said claims to have all this paperwork. Okay, where's this police report? Provide us with everything too. The police officer's name, the date when this took place, the time, because you know all that's on there. And then there should be numbers that we can look up and we can actually call that precinct. Give us the precinct too, and we can contact them and have it pulled up and we can see it for ourselves because you have the white man's paperwork, right? I said this earlier, you know, if at this point, if the baby mama and her husband wanted to come on here together, it would have to be them, those two together, because I would like to, it would have to be where the man is there with the woman, okay, as support, and other people can see that. If they would want to come on this show and she tell her story, I would be open to doing that. Okay. See, Umar, he's spinning a narrative just like narcissists do, and he did the same thing with the UNIA letter. He did the same thing with the failure that he calls FDMG. He did the same thing when he was kicked out of PCOM. I mean, he always spins these narratives because he never wants to hold himself accountable for his own failures. And then when he does things, he tries to blame everyone else. Now he's trying to blame this so-called alleged lover. So Umar is saying that he called the police department and an officer arrived later to take a report. This action would save my professional life, as you will soon learn. I asked the officer if he thought I should purchase a gun for self-defense should he return, and he said yes. So I went to the gun shop and obtained my first firearm. This would have been in around 2003, 2004-ish. Okay, 2002, 2003, 2004. Mama Smurf and I decided it would be best if I stayed at her home for the week in case her lover came back looking to keep good on his promise. Okay. At some point, Mama Smurf and I got into an argument about custody again. Here we go. This would be an ongoing theme, as she had promised me sometime during her third trimester that you will be with both of us or neither one of us. That sounds like something Umar would say. 22 years later, and we can see that she has largely kept her promise. Anyway, the nature of our argument centered around my belief that my daughter should come and stay with me while she was going through her domestic violence scare. She refused, and I left vowing to get custody of my daughter. Okay, because he didn't have custody. See? Even though he says that he did. At least he didn't have custody at this time. Okay? Now, could this all be true? Yeah, but I highly doubt it. Umar, he's a known liar. See? And the only reason why he's bringing up, this is the first time he's ever brought this up in all the years Umar's been online and talking all about male-female relationships. He's talking about domestic violence. He's talking about child support all the time and custody. He's never brought up this story. And the reason why he brought it up now is because the daughter came out and makes these allegations that he's a domestic abuser. Umar continues to write, however, Mama Smurf and Grandma Smurf, now the grandmama too, would beat me to the punch. Look at the terminology here, would beat me to the punch. They had filed for a restraining order claiming that I had purchased my firearm to terrorize and harm Mama Smurf and not to protect my daughter from her estranged lover. I think that this is true. I think that they did file a restraining order because you're batshit crazy. You were batshit crazy then, you batshit crazy now. You have a propensity towards violence and aggression. Okay? I believe this. Okay? I believe that they filed a restraining order. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe when they went to court for the restraining order, this is what he talks about later, because it doesn't sound like he's going to court for custody issues. They also wanted to press charges against me for the said offense. So in addition to the restraining order for Umar purchasing a firearm to use to terrorize, and that's not, Umar does that all the time. He seeks to intimidate people. He tried to do that with me. See? Recently, he made a veiled threat to unalive the individual who spray painted their CashApp over the FDMG mural. He did that in 2025. This is maybe a week and a half ago, he did the same thing. See? So I'm not surprised by this at all. Not at all. That's what I think. I think, Umar, I think they try to get a restraining order on you because you have a propensity towards violence and aggression. And you seek to terrorize people you also, in addition to terrorizing people through intimidation, purchasing a gun is an act of intimidation too, by the way. But also you attempt to get other people to do your dirty work. You call upon your followers to go up there and confront your baby mama. You called upon your followers and you dropped my address. Some of you guys remember this. He doxed my personal information and told his followers to come and see me. Okay, that was what, about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Well, you engage in that behavior quite a bit. There's times where people will send Umar a text to a cell phone message with the message, and they're criticizing him, and he'll repost it on his Instagram page and show the person's phone number. Why does he do that? Well, because he wants his followers to see the phone number and then call and harass and intimidate the person who sent the text. See, these types of behaviors. That's what abusers do. So I'm not surprised by this at all. I think they did. I think they went and put in a restraining order on your ass. And then they wanted to press charges against you for the said offense. And I think this is busting out the window and putting a note in the car. This was all a scheme to prevent me from gaining primary physical custody of our child. Okay. And again, he admitted that he was given supervised visitation. Okay. Well, why were you given supervised visitation instead of primary physical custody? You see, on the day of the hearing inside the courtroom, Mama Smurf pulled from her pocketbook approximately 12 Polaroid photos of her body that she claimed contained bruises caused by me. I believe it. I believe it. I think you did do that. I think that you're an abusive person. I think you used to beat on her. That's in my opinion. Knowing that I had never put my hands on her, I was certain the photos had been fabricated. So they just made up some photos. Okay, that's possible. But I believe you are an abuser. I've been saying that for a long time. When the judge asked me to take a look at the photos, I had immediately informed the judge that go to the next one. that these were not bruises, but blotches of makeup and artificial skin color. Wow. I couldn't believe that the Smurfs had went so far as to bring false evidence against me in a court of law. Now, I believe it was real evidence to try and destroy my professional career just to keep me from getting custody of my child. Now they're trying to destroy his professional career. Okay, he always has to play the victim. I then asked the judge to have Mama Smurf stand and show one of the bruises on her actual body, as there was no way that bruises this serious could disappear so quickly. Well, when did this alleged incidents of abuse take place, Umar? And also, because that would have been stated in the court, right? The inside the court, they would have stated when this alleged abuse took place, and then when did this court hearing happen? Was it 2 days later? Was it 2 weeks later? Was it 2 months later? Was it 4 months later? Was it a year later? You see, but Umar doesn't give that information. See how slick he is? He's a slickster. Okay? He's trying to spin a particular narrative as if these pictures were taken a couple of days or the day before this court proceeding, and they doctored all of this. They took these pictures and then presented it to the judge. No, that's not how this would have worked. See, it would have been stated when those pictures were taken in the court proceedings, and then the actual date of the court proceedings would have been outlined too on some paperwork, and then we could cross-reference. Okay, Umar, you said you had the white man's paperwork. Where is it at? I'm calling upon Umar to present the evidence in his defense. Umar's never talked about this in all of the years that he's been running his mouth online, which is 20 years, since 2005. And he's never mentioned this. Umar, I'm calling upon you to come before the Cookie Crush Chat courtroom and provide the evidence to prove your innocence. You said you have all the paperwork, right? All the white man's paperwork. Umar goes on to say that I then asked the judge to have Mama Smurf stand and show one of the bruises on her actual body, as there was no way that bruises this serious could disappear so quickly. Being unable to show any physical evidence of these fake injuries, the judge scolded her for lying to the court, to which Mama Smurf reacted with attitude and insubordination. Where's the proof of this, Umar? That sounds more like your behavior. Now watch this. The female Asian judge then instructed the bailiff to stand next to Mama Smurf, warning Mama Smurf that her next outburst would result in a contempt of court arrest. That's right, Eastby. Shout out to Eastby. But who do we know to be a person that is emotionally unstable and is quick to outburst? Okay, I'm going to give you guys an example before we close out the show. After this, we're going to go to the super chats, and then I'm going to play you guys some examples of Umar going crazy. And we'll be back a little bit later on this evening to get back to the video that we covered yesterday, and I'll represent some of this stuff again. I'll have some more videos of the young lady making allegations of her father, Umar Johnson, being a domestic abuser, that Umar beat on her mama. Umar went on to say that I sat in that courtroom stunned, as I couldn't believe that the mother of my child told the judge that I purchased my weapon to threaten and harm her, and not to protect my child from a death threat made against her life by Mama Smurf's lover. Again, this month, Umar issued a veiled threat dealing with a firearm towards one of his former employees up there at these trap banners in Wilmington, Delaware, that Umar owes over $3,000 to. He made a veiled threat to unalive this disgruntled employee. And he talked about firearm. See? And then finally, it says there, in fact, she never mentioned the busted car window, the death threat, or the police report. Well, Umar, you should have that police report. Let me finish the rest of this. I'll just read through. What really saved me inside the court that day was when I produced a police report reference number. Okay, Umar, where's this reference number provided for us in the Cookie Crush court? Okay, The Cookie Crush courtroom is waiting, Umar. And again, a police report, that would be your side, right? All right. What really saved me inside the courtroom that day was when I produced the police report reference number, which proved the officer had recommended that I obtain a firearm for the defense of my child and her mother. Maybe the police officer did. Maybe he did. But I'd like to see the receipt. This evidence, along with the fake body injury photos, was enough for the judge to dismiss the case that day. Changed everything for me, as I had learned, and then this is the last part of this, as I had learned firsthand just how much Mama Smurf hated me for not making her my wife. She never pressed charges against the man who threatened my daughter's life. I think it was you, Umar. But she tried to ruin mine just for trying to be there for her. That sounds completely not like Umar to try to be there for a woman. That's crazy. Who knows what would have happened to me had I never called the police and had that report taken. Where's the report, Umar? As I left family court that day, Grandpa Smurf, meaning his baby mama's daddy, disappointed in the judge's decision, tried to engage me in a scuffle. As we prepared to clash outside the family court, Umar, you was probably running away like your bitch ass. As we prepared to clash outside the family court, police stepped in to separate us and pulled me back into the building until the Smurfs had left the area. I couldn't believe it. An entire day filled with conflict and negativity, all because of one woman's lies and hate. If Dr. Umar Ifatunde is guilty of domestic abuse, then I challenge anyone to produce a police report, arrest record, or order of restraint. Mama Smurf has been lying to Baby Smurf her entire life. I was excluded from your life despite multiple family court shared custody orders. Now, Umar, you were put on supervised visitation. That's what you said in the video. You were put on supervised visitation for the first baby mama. You was put on the supervised visitation for your third baby mama. And it sounds like you were saying, because you were confusing all the stories, that you were put on supervised visitation for the second baby mama too. I was excluded from your life despite multiple family court shared custody orders. Well, where are these these orders, Umar? Because I didn't marry your mother. You will be with both of us or neither one of us. That is the whole truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth. All right. We're going to leave it right there. There is a poll as we start to wind this live stream down. Again, I'll be back a little bit later on to get back into the video that we covered yesterday. And I'll readdress some of this stuff. I'll have another video, a couple other segments from a video that shows Umar Johnson's daughter making these allegations. She also talks about Umar did something to her too. Okay, we're going to get into that one too. Hopefully, if I can find that one, because I got to go through those videos and get the segments. There is a poll. The poll question is: do you believe that Umar Johnson committed domestic violence against his first baby mama? There's been 977 votes. Let's try to get to 1,000 before we get done here. 82% say yes, and 18% say no. My vote is yes. All right. Now, let me just do this. I'm gonna do this real quick, because we have, how much time we got? We got about 15 minutes. I want to get to these super chats, but before I do that, I want to give people 3 examples, and we may even come back to this and get deeper into this during the live stream this evening. I'm going to give you guys 3 examples of Umar and his emotional immaturity, his lack of emotional control, his propensity towards anger and verbal abuse, violence, etc. I want to give you 3 examples. There's the example of Umar in the SETI rant. There's the example of Umar when he talks about pajama mamas, and there's the example of Umar when he goes off on Zora. Let's go with the pajama mama video first. Here we go.
Peace and Pan Africanism. Make some noise. We're my black 6th graders in your. That is unacceptable. It's coming, brothers and sisters. Friendly. Be business. We not a charter school. We not a public school. We independent. This is Garvey talking. We independent. So I'm telling all my black mothers now, when you show up to drop your son off at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, stay your ass in the car if you got your pajamas on. Because if you come in my school with your pajamas, I'm a super soaker your ass from head to toe, and I'm going to make sure I mess up your blonde weave. I'm telling you now, this is King Kong.
You see the aggression, the lack of self-control?
Come to my school with your damn pajamas on, black mother.
Look how he
You
crazy.
just crawled out the bed after getting bent over, and you're going to come out the house straight out the bed with sex crumbs all over your body. You're going to crawl out the bed and come to my school with sex crumbs all over your body. Looking like a damn ghost because all that makeup you wear done ate your natural skin juices up. All that makeup you wear on your face done ate your natural skin juices up. So you look like a damn ghost without makeup with 10 feet long eyelashes. You show up at my school in some pajamas. I'm a grab the super soaker. I'm a grab the super soaker. I'm a grab the super soaker water gun. I'm going to grab the super soaker water gun. I'm going to aim at your weave, your perm, your blonde extensions, and I'm a super soaker your ass from head to toe.
We're gonna have to get further into this because he goes crazy. We'll get more into this. Remind me, good Chrisette, I'm gonna ask a favor. When we live stream a little bit later on, remind me to pull up these 3 videos and we'll watch a little bit more of them. Okay, but for time's sake, because I want to get to these super chats before I get up out of here, I'm going to go to the next one. This video, by the way, is from August 3rd. August 3rd of 2023. Okay. Now, let's go to the Zora rant.
Both sides are anti. Have to go around making nobody feel bad. We don't. More information is coming soon. No matter where you go, just get there. Suffering, Black Death, police. My prevalence on TikTok amongst non-Africans. When you look at my YouTube control purchase, let's go back to the question. What it costs. I can probably take care of 8 families. Own a car, a place to sleep. Oh, hold on. Tanisha, where the address be? FL. He went on Tasha K.
Here we go.
I did not watch the interview. I was sent clips of the interview. I was told she contacted Tasha K. Tasha K's going to drop the interview. So I want all my Haitian family to know right now, I am not attacking my Haitian family. I love my Haitian family. I will die for my Haitian family. I love my Haitian queens. But when this thirsty thought drops this interview with Tasha K, I'm going to bury her ass with the truth. I don't know what made her pregnant ass.
See, he said, look at the terminology. This is the terminology of an abuser. Bury her ass. He also said, I'm a super soaker with this water gun. And he's holding it like this. See, remember Umar, he went to a military academy. His father, in fact, was trained specifically as an armsman, someone who could, deal with rifles and guns very, very well. Umar was taught the same thing. He's dangerous. Watch how he behaves.
Go to Tasha K and do an interview on me and try to slander my name because I didn't let her play wifey in the fashion show of the FDMG Festival. I didn't let her play wifey in the fashion show of the FDMG Festival. I didn't let her play wifey in the fashion show of the FDMG Festival. So she got mad and she ran to Tasha K and did a whole interview full of lies. Well, guess what? I got the truth. And I'm going to bury your ass, and you know who I'm talking to, woman. The last thing you should have did was ran your ass to Tasha K. When that interview dropped, I'm going to bury your ass with the truth. Don't you ever in your life try to tear me down because I don't want you. Your ass was married and your ass was pregnant, and you had no business wiping the sweat off my face in the FDMG gym that day. You had no business wiping the sweat off my face in the FDMG gym that day. You was married and you didn't even say nothing. And you was pregnant and you didn't even say nothing. And you ran your funky ass to Tasha K. And as soon as Tasha K dropped that interview you did, because I ain't going to even watch it till it dropped. I'm not even going to watch it till it dropped. But when it dropped, I'm going to bury your ass intellectually. Don't you ever.
See, he tries to correct it, but that terminology is a terminology of an abuser.
Come for me. I'm going to bury that ass. So brothers and sisters.
Now watch this. watch how he tries to contain himself and get himself under control, but then he goes right back to ranting. This is the emotional instability. He's an abuser. He doesn't have the self-control.
On that note, I'm trying to stay scandal-free. I'm trying to stay scandal-free. I'm not sweating. I'm dry, brother. All you see is African sunshine.
Real sassy with the hand movements.
All you see, I try to stay scandal-free, but I'm not going to make the mistake I made with the conscious stripper. I'm not going to make the mistake I made with Miss COINTELHO. I'm not going to make the mistake I made with Kim Ringgold and stay quiet. I'm not staying quiet no more. Any female who comes out and think they're going to damage my reputation, damage my credibility while I'm trying to build a school for black children because you didn't get what you want from me with your fat, pregnant, married ass, I'ma expose your ass. The last thing you should have done was ran to Tasha K, sweetheart. I guess you raising money to take care of that baby. I guess you need some extra money to take care of that baby.
See how he can't control himself. He has a propensity towards violence.
I guess you trying to use me as a vehicle to drive some money and attention to your thirsty ass struggle streaming YouTube page.
See this? And I'm gonna come right back to this, Kiara, because it's such an important point. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna come back to that. Give me 1 second. Notice how he calls this woman a what? YouTube struggle streamer. Well, that's what he called his daughter. Hit the one. See, Umar, I've studied Umar long enough to pattern recognition. He really doesn't have much wiggle room in his world to do anything other than what he normally does. In other words, there's not much creativity. He sticks to a very specific regimen, and he doesn't mean to. It's just the way that his mind works. He's not a creative person. Okay? He can come up with ideas, but he never can bring things into fruition. And that's because he has a very limited worldview. And so when he deals in the world, even in this video, he behaves the same way every single time. Block party, block party, block party. You ain't coming to the school. You ain't coming to yelling and screaming, frothing out the mouth, acting a doggone fool. It's the same pattern every single time. And this is another example. And so the verbiage becomes the same too. He's calling this woman who was pregnant at this time a YouTube struggle streamer, just like he called his daughter last week. He called her a YouTube struggle streamer. See this? Real quick. There is a correlation between narcissism and domestic abuse. Absolutely. Narcissism, they like to control people, and they can do it verbally, they can do it emotionally, they can do it physically. See? Umar does all of those three things, in my opinion. So he's an abuser. I've been saying this for many years, even way before the daughter comes out with these allegations, and I believe her 100%. Right? Let me play just a little bit more of this. I'm going to play a little bit of the SETI rant, and then I'll do super chats, and then we'll close up this live stream. We got just enough time. Here we go.
But you picked the wrong one, sweetheart. You picked the wrong one, sweetheart. I'm going to get that ass. Y'all watch the interview, and after y'all watch the interview, I'm going to go live, and I'm a King Kong her ass.
See that? King Kong. By the way, remember he said females in the black community. When you hear men say that, well, you females and these females, okay, that's when you know the type of person they hit the one. If anyone knows, some of y'all may not even realize that, but whenever you hear these black men say females, if any of you females and these females ain't that type of talk, okay, you're dealing with someone who's sexist, misogynistic. Okay, well, that's Umar. Let's keep going.
I love my Haitians. We family. This is not me versus no. I love my Haitians. This is one sister who just so happens to be Haitian. One sister, one thirsty, pregnant, married woman who tried to sit on my Shango stick. One thirsty, married, pregnant woman who didn't tell me she was married, didn't tell me she was pregnant, but I didn't touch her. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, Lord. Thank my ancestors. Ancestors, thank you. Thank you, ancestors.
He in here sitting in mama closet at this time.
Thank you. I didn't touch her, and she still went to Tasha K with no story at all. You only see me 5 times in your whole life, but you went to Tasha K. I'ma bury that ass once that interview dropped.
Damn.
So on that note, brothers and sisters.
See how you try to calm himself down?
On that note,
Pull up. Oh, I got some good news. I think we found a mural artist.
Okay. There's more that he says that's really over the top crazy, but for time's sake, we'll get back to this video too this evening. Someone, a quick question, if you guys can remind me to pull these 3 videos up, we can review some more of them. And then, of course, the preeminent video of Umar's rage is a SETI rant. I'm only going to play just a little bit. I'll skip through because this is one of the, if anyone, you happen to see this video, if you have not watched Umar's SETI rant, the whole thing, it's a must watch. Okay. I'm just going to skip through. Watch this.
Black families, the Prince of Pan Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson, working on that. My brothers and sisters who are midget, fucking albino nigga, your problem is you got an inferiority complex. Don't blame me for that shit. I'm not the reason you look like a fucking cracker, nigga. Dr. Umar ain't the reason you look like a fucking cracker. This ain't Sinetta talking. This me, nigga. I stands my own ground. I ride alone, nigga. I don't need nobody backing me. Fuck you calling niggas on the phone for? You got something to say to me? Why you calling men up on the phone for? Speak your speech, nigga. Speak your speech, nigga.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. This rant goes on for 45 minutes. And that's all I can take right now. Look, this guy, he was going nuts. I'm just going to skip through. Watch this.
We going to keep it conscious, community. We going to keep it conscious. Leave that shit alone. You will lose that. Trust me, man. Every time you on tape. Yeah, I'm a bank. You sound like a fucking Scooby-Doo ass nigga. You talk like Scooby-Doo, nigga.
What? What's with the cartoon references? Calling the baby mama Smurf and baby. Now you're talking about Scooby-Doo. I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, I cannot. This video right here. I mean, Umar, but that's Umar. That's King Kong consciousness. He has these different personality types, and that's one of them. And it was present back then in 2002, 2003, 2004. I believe this young lady, and I believe the mama too. Again, if the mama and the husband, if they want to come onto the show and tell their story, they're welcome to do that. Okay. Let me close out this poll. Then I'm gonna do super chats and we'll be up out of here. Again, someone quick question. If you guys remind me later on this evening, we can pull up some more of this and we can watch it. If we have the time, I may not even have time to do it. Okay, there's a question. The poll question is, do you believe that Umar Johnson committed domestic violence against his baby mama and his first baby mama in particular? There's 1,120 votes. 81% said yes, and 19% say no. Now, I'm going to do this poll, like, let's say in another week, and these figures may change. You know, it may change. Now, is it possible that Umar isn't a domestic abuser? Yes, but based upon what I know about Umar, I believe that he is. And I've said this long before his daughter came out to put out these allegations. And Umar, you have been challenged to produce the receipts, okay, that show this, that you are innocent, and they need to be presented to the Cookie Crush courtroom. And we need to see that police report. We need to see the custody order that you were granted by the judge or judge is, okay? And we need to be able to research all of this. So not just showing text, we need to see numbers, order, docket numbers, any information that we can use to go and look this up ourselves in the system to verify the information. You have been called to task, Umar. Let's see what you do. All right. All right. Let me do these super chats and we'll do these real quick. We're going to close out, but we'll be back in a couple of hours for another live stream. Indigo Baby sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This was a huge comment right here from Fairchild. An issuance of supervised visitation cannot exist without the existence of some form of abuse within a relationship or home. Okay? Now, Umar could have had visitation at first, and then something took place wherein some sort of abuse took place within the relationship or the home, and then that's why he was put on supervised visitation. And perhaps that's why they put in a restraining order on Umar. See? Iceman, and thanks for the super chat. Iceman Vamp says Umar's worst nightmare is coming true. Yeah, his daughter is spilling the beans. And see if other of his siblings ever do this too. Who knows? It may happen later on because some of them are younger. I propose he has more than 3 children too. or if the baby mamas ever came out to speak. But see, Umar is such an abusive person, and he intimidates people. They're probably fearful of coming out to tell the truth about Umar, because he's a very abusive, and he's the type of person who will not only threaten people, but he will go through any means to intimidate people, and that could be physical violence included. See? Thanks, Iceman, for super chat. What's up, Gamers and Drinks? Says she's high key hurt, the emotion in her verse. Yes, she is. You're talking about 22 years of pain associated with being abandoned by her father. Meanwhile, her father's all over the world, all over social media, talking about relationships and how black men should take care of their children, and how we need to be good fathers to our children, and how we need to marry the mothers of our children, etc. And he's all around the world talking about this. He's always on social media, and he's spending time at Tsukihana. He's dealing with strippers. He's dealing with sex workers over there in Ghana, but he hasn't spent any time with his own daughter. She's 22. Okay? Yeah, that's a lot of pain that's associated with that. I mean, even if he wasn't on social media doing what he's done, the fact that he's been absent for 22 years, that caused pain and suffering in children's lives. And it's not just for little girls, it's for little boys too. And even if it was the mamas that weren't present for 22 years, same rule applies. You see? Yeah, she's in pain, she's hurt, and she's dealing with this, and this is how she's chosen to deal with it. See, now, if Umar would have simply responded to her as her father, because she was really just looking for her she thought she only had one sibling that Umar only had one other child. Now, Umar has at least two other children. She was trying to get in contact with her sister. And that's why she reached out to Umar, not to establish a relationship, not because, they're trying to tear a black man down. Umar Johnson's father, y'all say that shit so much. Y'all weirdos with that shit. Y'all really weird. That's why she reached out to Umar, but Umar didn't want to respond. At a certain point, he stopped responding to her. And the reason why is because he does not want her to find out that she has two other siblings. And what would happen is she would talk with her siblings, and they would express to her the same things that her mama expressed to her, that Umar was a deadbeat, that he wasn't present, that he was verbally abusive, possibly that he was physically abusive, that there was all these issues with custody, and he was put on supervised visitation, and there may have been restraining orders that were try to put restraining order on his ass to keep him away. And Umar doesn't want all of that coming to light. That's why he didn't want, in my opinion, that's why he didn't want to give that information to the daughter. But the daughter, one of her siblings' mother reached out to her, and she has been able to not only talk to her siblings' mother, but then also she's been able to talk to the siblings. So good for her. That's her way of resolving this pain of being abandoned by her father, is to simply have a connection to her siblings, which she has every right to have. But Umar didn't want to grant her that right because he doesn't want all of this coming to light. Right? Thank you, Gamers and Drinks. User 225 says, I'm surprised he isn't just denying he's the dad. Yeah, but see, all of the paperwork is already out there. The child support dockets and all that stuff, I've already presented it many times. It'd be very difficult for Umar to deny that at this point. Now, if we didn't have all that paperwork, if we haven't gone over it over and over again, and he knows we have it, see, I don't even think I put that inside the last documentary. I don't think I did, but it will be in this next one. Because of all that paperwork is all out there, Umar, really what Umar is trying to do is damage control. And he's, with the post that he put up today, that's him trying to get ahead of the domestic violence allegations. You see, he's trying to get ahead of the story. See, but if in fact some of his other children connect with the other children, and then they start to talk, and then the baby mama start to talk, and then ultimately all of their stories are told, Umar, he's already in bad shape. Okay, but like I said, if the baby mamas want to come onto my platform, I would prefer for them to come on with their significant other, because the optics of it is to show that they have a man, a protector in their life, and that they're there so that Umar Johnson and Umar Johnson's batshit crazy followers won't feel as if they can go and run up on these people willy-nilly. See, so I would be open to that. Okay, thanks, user 225 for the super chat. How's it going, Tata? Tata says, Umar, see, what had happened was, he started making that's exactly what he did. And listen, Umar is not a gifted writer. He sat down and he wrote that out, and he went over it over and over again. I guarantee it, because he wanted to spin a narrative. I mean, I don't think, real talk, I don't think I've ever seen Umar post something like this long. I mean, it's one post, but it goes on and on and on. I've never seen Umar do this. He's scared. Yeah, he's shook right now. See, what happened was exactly. Thanks, Tata. Iceman Vam says, when you get a restraining order, it's temporary until you have a hearing to see whether to make it permanent. That's what I'm saying. Umar's trying to make it sound like, you know, they put in a restraining order and with these allegations of domestic violence, and there was bruises on this woman's body. And then the next day they had, the actual hearing. That's not how this works. That's not how it works at all. That's why the story doesn't make any sense. Anyone catch that? It makes no sense to me. See, or the next 2 days. And that's why by the second day, the bruises were gone. Well, how could the bruises be gone? It's only been 2 days. Well, Umar, it's not like you put in the paperwork to get a restraining order on someone, and then 2 days later you're in court. And furthermore, let's say that that's possible. We're going to give Umar the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that that's possible. The next day you're in court to deal with this. Let's say that happens. I'm just going to give Umar the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I'm going to take back what I said before. That doesn't mean that when you allegedly, I'm saying allegedly, but I think you were an abuser, physically abusive. That doesn't mean that when you allegedly abused this baby mama, that it took place the day before. You could have abused the baby mama a week before, 2 weeks before, a month before, 2 months before, 6 months before, and they took pictures of it to present to the court. 6 months later, a month later, 2 weeks later, etc. And by that time, the bruises would have gone down. And by the way, Umar, where's the excuse that you gave as to why these bruises were there? He said that they just put, well, Umar, you something else. You something else. Thanks, Iceman Van, for a super chat. User 225 says, notice how he's saying he tried to get dad custody, but he ignored his daughter's communication requests and is slandering her and her mom on social media. Yeah. See, Umar wants to this is the narrative that this great deceiver, this narcissistic deceiver, he's trying to present to the world. He's trying to present to the world that he was trying to be an active participant in his daughter's life, even though he wasn't trying for these other kids too, by the way. But he's trying to make every effort to be a part of their lives. But that's not the case. See, let me read this again. Notice how he's saying he tried to get dad custody. That's part of him trying to be part of the child's life consistently, but he ignored his daughter's communication. So when the daughter reaches out after 22 years of him being absent, what does he do? He slanders her. He demeans her. He disrespects her. He calls her names, calls her out her name, calls her a YouTube struggle streamer on social media, and goes in on the mama too. We're going to get back to that video later on today. I want y'all to think about that. Does that sound like someone, a dad, a father who loves his child, who wanted custody, who wanted to be present in the child's life? No, but that's because Umar, he never wanted that. What he wanted was control, like narcissists do. They want to control people. And it's not just their flying monkeys. They want to control everybody. They want to manipulate everybody. See, and that's Umar. Okay, this is a really good point right here. User 225. Critical thinking skills. Thank you for super chat. Fairchild says, so why was an order of protection eventually issued in the favor of the mom and grandma? Now, I don't know if there was an order of protection issued. If you have information on that, please email me it. What I do know is that Umar was put on supervised visitation. Okay, and maybe is that an order of protection? Is that an aspect of an order of protection? Possibly. Okay. Possibly. Okay. If you have, email me. Okay. Thank you for super chat. Okay, I got to be up out of here in 5 minutes, everybody. Actually, 7 minutes. Thank you for super chat, Fairchild user. I do these real quick. And later on, we'll have more time. Okay. Holly B says, my mom and I have always known of the power of words. Even though Umar speaks a lot about things he knows a little about, he understands fully how to be very disrespectful with his words. He's evil. I totally agree. But see, that's abusers. Abusers aren't just physically abusive. They're not just emotionally abusive, because Umar, he abuses his followers emotionally by shaming them for not sending money. He talks all kinds of shit about his donors. Okay, that's an abusive personality. He's never appreciative of anything. That's an abusive personality. He's disrespected his followers. He's disrespected Black people. He's disrespected his donors. That's an abusive, having a sense of entitlement. People who have a sense of entitlement, they abuse people all the time because they don't give a shit. They think everything belongs to them. It's about control. Abusers want control, power. They yield power. They take power away from people by emotionally abusing them, by physically abusing them, and yes, verbally abusing him. And that's one thing we can say about Umar, is that Umar, he's always been verbally abusive. He's always been that way. The videos that I showed earlier, the SETI rant, the Zora rant, and these are just three. Okay, there's plenty of other ones. The Pajama Mama rant. See, that's someone who knows the power of words, because he's really trying to hurt people with his words, because he's an abuser. See, and it can be verbal. It can also be written. See, when he put up that the meme where he had the Smurf on there, that was taking a shot at the mama and the daughter too, by the way, but the mama in particular, more specifically. Okay, that's a form of abuse too. He's trying to intimidate her. He's trying to lure her into this drama. See, what Umar wants, Holly B, is he wants the mama to come to him to talk. He doesn't want the mama to go onto my platform or any other platform that's just to tell the truth about Umar. He wants to get her into his realm of influence and then manipulate her emotionally, verbally, and potentially otherwise as an act of intimidation. That's what Umar wants. He don't care about connecting to this child. He wants the child to shut up and stop telling the business. And he wants to put the mama in a position where she's, again, back under his control, like he was trying to do back in the day. Ain't nothing changed with this guy. He's loony. He's like that. Yeah, very disrespectful with his word. Okay, real quick. Thanks, Holly B, for super chat. User 225 says, what kind of Boondocks fan fiction is Umar? I don't know. I mean, the story that he spins, it's wild, you know, and the ex-lover. Who's this lover? Who's this ex-lover? Okay. And why would the lover put the letter inside of the baby car seat? You're going to bust the window out. So let me set this letter right here. Come on now, Umar. He's something else. Thank you for the super chat. Giannis, how's it going? Says, I'm at work. My data can't handle this. What? He's saying your daddy can't handle this. Let me get this out of here. Thanks, Giannis. Dark says he's going to spiral. The loss of CashApp. Yeah. I thought about this. This is really good. Umar's going to spiral. The loss of CashApp, his daughter telling her truth, and Lenon coming with receipts. He's running out of places to hide. I'm here for it. You're absolutely right about this. See, and remember when I told y'all when that CashApp got shut down, that was going to be huge. And Umar's probably by this time, he's really starting to feel it. But then now you got his daughter coming out, right? And then me presenting all these receipts and including videos that we covered before. But now we have this new context to put them in with these allegations of domestic abuse and violence. Okay, everything takes on a whole nother dimension now. See, Umar, he's in a really, but I told people, I told people, I said, you watch that this CashApp, you just give it a month or so, and let's see where Umar is at. Yep, we gonna see. And the other thing too, Dark 40, is Umar, there's so many Umar Johnson followers that they're done. They're done with Umar. You guys should see that now there's all people that still defend him. Those are the cult followers. But I'm actually shocked because I go look for people, some of the people that be in the comment section who be posting over there, like Ad Avis and other people that be posting over there. But you look at the comments that are being left by Umar Johnson followers. Now they're former Umar Johnson followers. He is in a real bad spot. And yeah, we're here for it. We're here for it. We're going to take it day by day. Again, real quick, before we get to these last ones, we're going to be done. We'll be back in a couple of hours. I want to apologize in particular to members because I have, and also people who've been waiting on the next segments, the rough drafts for the documentary. Stuff has picked up with Umar like I haven't seen over the last 6 weeks or so. And with this trajectory, I've had to spend way more time than what I usually I'm able to spend doing live streams so I can keep up with the coverage. And I want to apologize because it hasn't put me in a good position to continue to work on the documentary like I had planned and then consistently produce content for you members. I do have, I kid you, I have 5 other videos for members that I've already recorded that I haven't even had time to edit. And I'm not going to have edit down to put out for you guys. And I'm not going to have time today because after this live stream, I got to run some errands. When I get back, before we start the next show, I got to go back through at least 2 other videos of Umar's daughter talking about domestic violence. And I gotta go through those and take the clips where she's specifically talking about that and then have that prepared for this evening's live stream. So I want to apologize to people, but I'm doing my best. Okay, I really am. Thank you, Dark Ford, and thank you all for being members and hanging in there. I really appreciate it. Okay, I can't understate that at all. Thank you, Dark 40, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Real quick, user 225 said, what kind of, oh, I already got that one. Okay, I got that one too. I got Dark 40. Thank you again. Holly B says, he is so disgusting. He uses his platform as a bully pulpit so he can attack those he is angry with. He is a terribly low character. I totally agree. Remember, he did that with me. He posted my personal information. He tried to get his quote unquote goonie. Remember, he was issuing physical threats of violence. And I remember he was sitting inside this little crawl space had on a black hat and a black and trying to look all big and bad. And he was talking about pull-up team and LenonHonor. We in that talking crazy, talking real reckless. Well, that's Umar. He tries to bully and intimidate people. But see, with me, it didn't work. See, I'm the kind of person, I'm not going to be punked by no man. It ain't going to happen. I don't care who you are or who you think you are. It's not going to happen. Now, if you're respectful, I give you all respect in the world. I respond very well to people who are respectful, and I also respond very well to people who have good leadership qualities. And it don't matter if it's a man or a woman. Okay, my previous boss, she was such a great leader. I'll say, okay, whatever you need me to do, I'm going to get it done. No questions asked. I'm here to support you. I'm going to make your job easier, because she had great leadership skills. But if they don't have great leadership skills like Umar, and they bitch made like Umar and try to bully people and intimidate people and be disrespectful too, okay, I don't respond well to that. I never have. That's just how I am. See? And so Umar, he tried to bully me. He tried to bully other people too. It just don't work. And see, he tried to bully his own daughter. Think about that. And he tried to bully his daughter's baby mama too. Excuse me, his baby mama, the daughter's mama too. And then also talk shit about the grandmama and the grandpapa too. That's Umar. Okay. But he uses social media because he ain't about that life. Okay, I got to get through these real quick because I literally have 2 minutes. Real quick. Boston Man says, all these people giving bad reports all have contact with him except the daughter. Take the L. Umar, you're right about that. Yeah, all these people have contact with Umar except the daughter. And remember, the daughter was trying to reach out to Umar for what? Not because she wanted. Listen, there is a part of her I know because she's hurt. There's a part of her that wants to connect with him. But initially, what she wanted was simply to be able to connect with her siblings. And the reason why is because she didn't know she had siblings. And I have the video where she was talking to someone, and I can show it to y'all. If someone remind me later, I'll pull it up. She was talking to someone, and they were saying, yeah, your daddy, he has another child. They thought he had just two children. And she was like, what? No, he has 3. So when she hears that information, that's when she goes into this mode where I want to try to find my siblings. So it's a sister. See, but Umar has to make it all about him and how it's the baby mama. She's trying to use the daughter to attack him. But see, if Umar had simply reached out to the daughter, responded properly as a father who quote unquote loves his daughter. Yes, I have another. You do have another sibling. In fact, you have 2. If you want to get in contact with, here's a number to where you can reach the mama, and you can give her a call and see if she wants to allow you. And that would have been it. But that's not what Umar did, because he wants to control the situation. He doesn't want them getting together like Voltron and forming. And then telling the truth on Umar. He doesn't want that. That's his biggest, right now, that's Umar's biggest fear. See? It's like someone said, it's his worst nightmare. Thanks, Boston, man. I appreciate it. Black Anonymous, Husband Black Anonymous says, did you really expect the mother to answer to strangers about her child? Please. Yeah. Yeah. Umar's a trip. That goes to show you, he don't have no kind of fatherly love or the sense of protecting the daughter or the mama for that matter. So did he really expect the mother to answer to strangers about her child? Because he wants his followers, which are strangers, to reach out. That's what he does. He tries to get them to do his dirty work. That's what he wants. See, but that's the cult dynamic of Umar. Black Anonymous, you know about this. Umar, he's like a cult leader, but he's lazy and he has no organization skills. And so he tries to get his cult members to do his dirty work. Okay. That's what he'll tell them. Yeah, contact them, flood their inbox. He'll do this kind of stuff. And he's done that with this scenario too. I'm not surprised. He's done it in the past. Thank you, Black Anonymous. What's up, Diaz? All said 1 day a week is good enough for Umar. And then he'll argue, Diaz, he'll argue, well, I do pay child support. No, he wasn't paying child support consistently. We covered that a bit in yesterday's live stream, but the live stream before that, we covered that. I think that was the live stream before that. We covered that extensively. Umar was he's always been in the arrears since 2002. And in 2005, he's still in the arrears. Okay? But for Umar, yeah, 1 day a week. He's just giving that as an excuse. That's all it was. Counsel Umar at Long Beach State Saturday. Yeah, he should be. He should be. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. He should be canceled. He shouldn't be speaking at any university. This guy, look at this guy. See? I mean, if I play videos where Umar's ranting, talking about, I'm gonna bury that ass and all this kind of stuff, she gets really crazy, Malik, in that video. I don't know if you've seen the whole thing. And that, someone remind me later. I'll play it where he really gets crazy, sexual, graphic and stuff. Why would the university have him there? That's crazy. Okay? We're gonna see. Thank you for the super chat. Regina sent a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Regina. Matt says, bust the window and place a letter inside. Yeah. Yeah. Why not just take the note and put it on the windshield wiper? You can't make this shit. Umar was mad. He threw the brick through the window and put the note on there. And then if there is a police report, what Umar did was he picked it up and acted like someone else did it. Okay. Gonna bust the window to put a letter inside. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that, Matt. All right, thank you for that. Fairchild Republic, I gotta go. Says he wants primary custody. He has no domicile. Yeah, he has no domicile. Now, to be fair, he did in 2002. No, I can't even say that. I can say that in 2010 he had his own residence. I can say that. Yeah, I don't know. So I can't speak to that. I do know one thing, that if he did, it was filthy. I'll tell you that right now. It don't matter where, if he had his own place, I'll tell you it was filthy. I know that. Thanks for the super chat. Real quick, I gotta go. Golden Child says he had to make up that whole story just to justify why he had the firearm. Yeah. So and there's two things to this. One, to justify why he wouldn't purchase the firearm at that time. A good point too, right here. I didn't even think about this. But two, he wants to try to justify. No, he's trying to produce some sort of damage control that is the result of his daughter coming out and making these allegations. Because what would happen, Golden Child, is that if the daughter talked with the mama enough and got the story from the mama, the daughter would tell, or if the mama, for that matter, came online and told the story, this particular incident, Umar's trying to get ahead of it by doing damage control in advance. Because what if they come out and said, no, that none of that happened, okay, that Umar did purchase a firearm and he threatened that he was going to do this, this, and this. See? So Umar's just trying to get out ahead of it. Okay. So yeah, you're right. That's part of it. The other part is Umar, he's trying to do a damage control in advance, just in case if the information comes out on this other side from the daughter and from the mama, where they start to talk about this particular incident. I'm going to tell you one other thing too, by the way, Golden Child. This is just one incident that Umar's talked about. He's never, in all the videos I watch with Umar, I literally have 4 minutes. In all the videos that I watch with Umar, I've never heard him tell this story. See, but he's telling it now. But guess what? This is just one story. This is just one incident. You mean to tell me that there weren't more? Okay, there's a video where the daughter says that he did something to her. Hopefully I'll get to that this evening, right? Furthermore, let's take it a step further, Golden Child. This is just one incident with one baby mama. An abuser is an abuser. It don't matter what baby mama he's dealing with. An abuser is an abuser. If it's a woman, abuser is an abuser. It don't matter what baby daddy she's dealing with. So how many more incidents have taken place with any of these baby mamas? And you put it all together. See, that's why Umar doesn't want them connecting and telling stories. And that's why, like you're saying, he's creating these stories, these narratives. This is what these great deceivers do to get ahead of the story. And he wants to justify why he had a firearm. Back, boom. There you go. There you go. See, and they don't see now that I go on this. You're not just, well, I'm gonna let it go. Wow. Well, this is a good one. That's a good one. Thanks, Golden Child. Laurie IRL says he has excellent recall. The story is very detailed for something that happened 20 years ago. Yeah. But again, this is just Umar trying to get out ahead of the story. See, now again, Laurie, if the daughter goes to the baby mama and asks about this incident, and the baby mama says, hey, listen, that never happened. Or she says, no, something did happen, but this is actually what happened. And then the daughter comes out and tells that. And it's detailed. Okay. But the bottom line is that there should be paperwork somewhere. Okay. Archived, police reports, etc. Okay. Umar, it's on you to come before the Cookie Crush Chat courtroom and to prove your innocence. All right. Thank you, Laurie. I got 2 minutes. Then says roses are red. Lenon got the report. Slippery Umar dodging child support. One more time. Roses are red. Lenon got the report. Slippery Umar dodging child support. Okay, thank you. Holly B says Umar acts like physical abuse is the only kind. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. He is very verbally abusive. I was talking about this earlier, Holly B. He is very verbally abusive, but he also has a short temper. Yeah. So violence doesn't seem far off from him. Listen, Umar, he exudes that. He exudes that. Okay. And again, Holly B, this is Umar online acting like this. Steady rant, Zora rant, super soaker, the baby mama, the pajama mama rant. That's him online acting. And there's plenty of other examples I can pull up of that's him online acting when he's going off on people because they question him about stuff. And somebody remind me to pull up when Umar was in Atlanta and he did that talk. And at the end, he says, "Don't you ever question my ass again." He was raging. See? He has a propensity towards violence. And part of the problem for Umar, he has a short temper. Okay? All right, I got to do these real quick. 10 seconds. College and Natural Health each. Science DBA says, I have scheduled an intervention for Umar. Please do. Thank you for a super chat. Roses are red. Nonsense that he utter. Sitting on mama's couch. Soft as table butter. All right. Thank you, dude. Boy, y'all, wow. God's little princess, you was right about this, B. Thank you for your time. You so welcome. Thank you for modding, and I appreciate you, sis. Thanks for a super chat. Then College Natural Health. I want to make sure I thank everybody. God's little princess. I got 1 minute, literally. Chapin says Umar's skeletons are finally falling out. This is only the beginning. And you know what, Chavis? I agree. This is just the beginning. Umar and I call it this. Umar has a long road ahead of him. And guess what? Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. So let's go. Thank you, Chavis, for super chat. I appreciate it. Umar Johnson's chair says Umar just added more fuel to the fire. But isn't that what Umar always does? See, he claims this. Another thing, he claimed to be a conflict resolution expert. He's not that either. He lies all the time. That's another reason why whatever he writes, Umar is literally he's a habitual liar. And in this case, not only is he lying about things, but he's very meticulous about the narrative that he's spinning as he's trying to explain what took place back in the day with this firearm and the window got busted out and sound like FDMG shit, really. But so that means that he has not only is he coming up with a lie, but he's taken the time to morph this lie into what it needs to be to spin a particular narrative. Oftentimes when Umar, he's a habitual lying, he's just making up shit on the spot. In this case, he's making up shit, but he's crafted it in such a way prior to even presenting it online. Okay. And what he's done is he's added more fuel to the fire. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. David says, Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Amen. We're going to leave that right there. Thank you, Chavis. User 225 says the irony of this is he would have come out looking much better if he had just responded gracefully, quietly to his daughter. It could have been handled all behind the scenes, even if that did get leaked. Yeah, it still could have been handled behind the scenes and then it gets leaked, but he resolves it before it gets leaked, but not Umar. Umar's quick to anger. He has a temper problem. He doesn't know how to regulate his emotions. He's quick to rage. He's verbally abusive. He's emotionally abusive. And I'm going to say it, in my opinion, he has been physically abusive to his baby mama and possibly to the little girl, because she made some comments too. Hopefully I'll get to that video to this evening where she talked about she did something to him, that Umar did something to her. Real quick, let me close out this poll and we're going to be done. We won't do an intro because I got to literally leave right now. Do you believe that Umar Johnson committed domestic violence against his first baby mama? There were 1,300 votes. 81% said yes. 19% said no. I'm going to see you guys in about 2 hours. Okay. About 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. I want to thank the Cookie Chat everyone in Cookie Chat for tuning on in. Thanks to Mom Handling. Thanks to anyone who sent in super chats, super stickers. If you're sending cash out to PayPal, my cash out, PayPal information listed down below in the description of this video. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. More to come. And as I always say, Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. I'll talk to y'all real soon. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.